Okay, been getting a lot of questions. What's this? What's wrong with it? Anything wrong with it? So I'm just going to post a video here. Hopefully answer all the questions. This machine is from 1998. And when I first got it, I was having a little bit of problems with it, with the engine. And they replaced the engine. And that's been fine ever since. I don't use the chemical tank anymore because I found that chemicals, when they leave the carpets dirty, but it also eventually clogs up the coil. And you have to replace the coil, the heater coil. So I just use fresh water and use good pre-sprays. Let's start the machine up. Choke it out, shut it off. A few minor things over the years, we had Henry that used to work at Steamway. When I had problems on the field, he would tell me, disconnect this, you don't need this part, you don't need that. So that's what I did over the years. Some bells and whistles like the vacuum gauge, that's not working. I think the pressure gauge too, because there's a pulse hose that went from the pump to the pressure gauge that blew out on me. So I just bypassed that, didn't need it. I keep it set where I want it with the regulators here. I have this hooked up to it for the winter time. Turn the valve and I fill that up with antifreeze to put in the heater coil in the pump so that doesn't freeze up on me. Only minor issue I had it over the years. It always had a slight oil leak after it ran for a while. You can see a little bit coming out of there just from that run. It never bothered me for like 20 years. I just take a rag every so often, wipe it up. Again, the heater runs on kerosene. You can adjust your temperature here where you want it. Okay, so that's the machine. I'll go back here. I do have some stuff stored in it right now, but and overall what it is, you have there's some hose up front, but there's about 300 feet of vacuum and pressure hose here. Got the original Steamway wand. I also have green glides here, and there's another one over there. I have PMF upholstery freedom tool, and back there you probably can't see it, but there also is a Hydro Force tile and grout cleaner. Pump up sprayer. I did eventually take off the generator on this unit because it was always burning out and I got tired of replacing it and fixing it, so I just plug in now. Also have a battery charger that's permanently hooked up to the battery to keep the battery charged. So that's how I've been running it for like the past 15-20 years. Everybody's always asking about frame rot. It's just got the usual body rot, but there's no frame rot. I did replace both shackles a couple years ago. That's the only part that did go out on it, but other than that, the frame's good. Replaced the front shocks not too long ago. Let's get to the van part, start that up. Got some miles on it. Goes through New Jersey inspection every year. Just took it February, and that's the last time I had this van on the road. Okay, I'm just gonna show you this real quick and then back off. Okay, with the radiator there, about 15 years ago, developed a hairline crack on it. I was on the road, just took the pressure cap off, and it's been fine ever since. Never replaced. If we put the pressure cap on, then the antifreeze will force its way out of the radiator. You leave the cap off, it runs fine. The only other thing I can think of right now is the cat pump right there. When the dealer replaced the engine, it didn't tighten it up, the bracket bolts there, and it became loose and wound up putting a hairline crack on the pump. So see, I just keep a rag there and replace that rag about once a month. It does have the Omega coupler on it, which does make it a lot easier to change the coupler, especially in the field if you ever have to. Other than that, I really can't. I answered just about every question everybody keeps asking me. I used to use this every day until I just couldn't do it no more because, as you can see, my legs are shot. I wear braces on both legs and they're partially paralyzed. That's the only reason I'm selling it. Otherwise, I mean, if I could, I can jump in this van and go out and do work today. So if you're interested, give me a shout out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments.